Gridiron Banquet being held tonight at Poplar Bluff, and the awards are what we are looking at. We'll have awards for the division champions, Jackson, Dexter, and Caruthersville, along with individual awards for things like Defensive Player of the Year. But what we're really interested in is the Carr Trophy. That's given to the most outstanding player in the SEMO Conference. Last year, easy choice. Zaire Thomas, the Cape Central running back, took home the trophy, had a touchdown pretty much every 3 or 4 plays. This year, we've got a 3-horse race. The only quarterback in the running is Drew Parsons from Jackson. The Indian senior has torn it up. 2,204 yards, 24 total touchdowns. And to be honest, those stats, they could be way higher because lots of games the quarterback has sat out the second half, even as early as the second quarter, because Jackson is winning football games by huge margins. He's still alive in the playoffs as well, with Jackson hosting CPC this weekend. Another player still in the playoffs, Devin Turnbow, the Dexter senior, has taken up an even larger role after plenty of his teammates graduated last year. 16 rushing touchdown. He scored a touchdown on defense, special teams too. In fact, that was it right there. Rarely takes a play off, which is why Dexter has a shot at making a state semifinal. And one of the best pure rushers in our area, Sammy Bryant from Caruthersville, also in the running. Almost 1,700 yards rushing in the regular season. That's just 9 games, guys. His career totals, more than 6,000 yards, more than 100 touchdowns. One thing he's already locked up is the scoring title in the South Division, 138 points he scored this year. We're going to have results later tonight. Meanwhile, SEMO football, not the conference, is gearing up for Lindenwood. We'll talk about the significance of this game later tonight at 9 and 10.